It's episode 9, brought to you by Joe's Crab Shack, I guess.
That's where you'll get the kind of crabs you do want. Joe's Crab Shack's not a sponsor for good reason. We're not very good. Today I'm saying just a little cut in. We're sipping on a little Michter's bourbon. I love the entire Michter's line. It's a Tennessee whiskey brand. They have the American whiskey, the bourbon, and the rye. Highly recommend it. Love all three products. So try it out. It's about $40, I think.
So if you guys don't know, we have a big game coming up in 2 weeks. But before we get to that big game that we're not allowed to mention because they own the rights to the name of the big game, we're going to go ahead and talk about what happened this week in the NFC, AFC championships.
We got started with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers heading out to Lambeau, and it was a great game, a close game. I think everybody kind of expected a close game. If you would have told me before the game started that Tom Brady was going to throw 3 interceptions, I would have said, oh my goodness, the Packers are going to just murder him. But, you know, the Packers, they had some interceptions of their own. They took a field goal when they should have taken a touchdown, and they took, late in the game when they should have gone for a touchdown, they took another field goal. And so I don't know what the reasoning there is. The Packers coach said he felt great about it, but I don't know how you feel better about putting your defense against Tom Brady than you did against Aaron Rodgers, against literally anybody. I mean, I would have gone for it. But
you have to go for it, because even if you hit the field goal, you still got to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
So either way, you got to get in the end zone.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you, especially with the way that Leonard Fournette was running the ball. I mean, Aaron Rodgers had 3 shots to get up, and he didn't capitalize on any of those 3 shots. Yeah. You know how many completions Brady had the second half?
I don't.
4.
Wow.
4. In the entire third and fourth quarter, he had 4 completions and 3 interceptions. So he only completed 1 more ball to his guys. It was a touchdown to Cameron Brake, but
perhaps even better than a completion, he got the only PI call, I think, that was thrown all night. And there was some controversy about that play call, about that penalty. I mean, there's no that was pass interference.
It was pass interference. It may not have been a catchable ball. It was a little high.
Well,
but
I think the argument was that they weren't calling that all night, so why start then? And I mean, there's some truth to that, but you can't pull on a guy's jersey right in front of the referee in a big spot like that. They're going to call it. So
yeah, it's too important of a play. You have to call it.
So that iced that game. And when you get to talking about Tom Brady, I mean, there's what's left to say at this point. I'm just going to throw out this one stat that I find interesting. Aaron Rodgers, who's been a great quarterback his entire career, has beaten an NFC team in the playoffs 10 times. Tom Brady's done it 9. So
that's pretty amazing.
And he's been in the NFC for 1 year. So
you know, Aaron Rodgers and Rex Grossman had the same amount of NFC championships.
You know, there's been some years where Aaron Rodgers didn't have that great of a team, but man, they had a good team this year, and they should have won that game. I thought they were the better team going in. Obviously, I made it my lock of the week. I mean, I only had 2 games to pick from, but still, I really thought Aaron Rodgers would get it done. I thought Green Bay was going all the way this year. I really did, but didn't happen. Tom Brady making his usual, customary Super Bowl appointment. So
yeah, he's the GOAT. There's no other way to say it. There's no quarterback that's had that much success, and he finally proved that it's not Bill Belichick.
And on the other game, the Buffalo Bills had everything going right to start off with. They come out, they needed to get a touchdown in that first drive. I thought they didn't, but then they stopped Kansas City, and then Kansas City stopped them. But when they punted it, they fumbled it to the end zone, and all of a sudden, before you can blink, the Bills are up 9-0, and it's not looking good at all for the Chiefs or Chiefs bettors. And but that was about the last good thing that happened to Buffalo for a while.
Kansas City became Kansas City, and Andy Reid became Andy Reid.
And Patrick Mahomes, apparently, if he felt the effects, he wasn't showing it.
No, that turf toe was good. That concussion was good. He was good every which way.
Yeah, it was just incredible. And the guy's incredible.
That guy has a cannon. Like, the way he just throws the ball effortlessly, like 100 yards, it's just crazy.
You know, a lot of people get hung up on his physical attributes for good reason. I mean, the guy, like you said, has a cannon. He can make throws from every arm angle, from every body angle. He can contort himself.
He's just fast enough to avoid the rush.
Yeah, but I mean, if you watch tape on him, you'll see times where he'll throw the ball to a space where it looks like there's nobody there, and the next thing you know, a receiver cuts in, catches the ball, and he's off and running. It's just he throws the space so well.
Him, Kelsey, and the Cheetah. What's it? Tyree.
Hill, yeah.
With those three on the team, man, that team's going to be stout for years to come.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see who they can re-sign, though. When you lock up that big of a contract, I think this year he's on the last year of his rookie contract. So when that runs out and they have to start paying him $11 billion a year, I mean, how much room are they going to have, and who gets to stay, and who? I mean, are they going to be able to keep everybody? That's the question I have. So we'll see.
That defense is definitely going to take a hit. They were Kansas City's defense surprised me how much they got after Josh Allen. Like they look like a whole different defense. Honestly, the defenses of both teams surprised me because Tampa Bay's defense came to play and they locked up Aaron Rodgers when need be, when they had to. They were stout. And then on the other side, Kansas City's defense finally locked up Josh Allen. I mean, the guy had a couple good throws and a couple good runs. He had like 80 yards rushing. But it was still surprising to me how fast they got back there all the time.
Well, you know what was surprising to me is how many times in that game that Josh Allen took a bad play that was going to be a negative play and made it infinitely worse. All the things you hear about, quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield, if that had been Baker Mayfield, we'd be railing on him today. And I am railing on Josh Allen. I believed in Buffalo. I said I thought they would cover the spread. I thought they would stay within. I said what I thought was going to happen in this game is that the Chiefs would win by 3 or 4 points, and they won by a lot more than that. Josh Allen and the Bills weren't ready for this moment. They weren't ready to go into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs and go to the Super Bowl. So, as a result, the Chiefs were ready. They are going to the Super Bowl to play Tom Brady, who's in his, 10 Super Bowls he's been in?
Yeah, 10 Super Bowls.
Goodness. So, what are your early thoughts on that game? Who do you have winning?
Man, I want Brady to ride out on top so bad. I'm going Kansas City.
It's one of those catch-22s. You don't pick against Tom Brady, but if you don't pick against Tom Brady, that means you have to pick against Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not super ready to do that either.
I feel like this is going to be that game where the torch is passed. You got Brady at home in the Super Bowl, and I feel like Patrick Mahomes is still going to go in there, show him why like the new young gun's in town, and Brady's going to be like, I can't keep up anymore.
I don't want to take anything away from Tom Brady because it is what it is. I mean, the guy's put it on tape. He's a great quarterback. The Tampa Bay offense is not Kansas City's offense.
No.
And
I mean, they got some weapons, though.
No, they do. I mean, they're not inept. I mean, I'm not saying that, but if they sputter out like they did against Green Bay, the defense isn't going to stop Kansas City for long enough for them to win that game.
No.
So you have to keep scoring. So that will be the next evolution. And I don't think that Kansas City's defense is any worse than Green Bay's. I guess the hidden thing here is who Tampa Bay is playing at home.
Yeah.
That's the first time that's ever happened in the Super Bowl. I think that's a little bit overblown because, I mean, some LA teams have played in the Rose Bowl and things like that. Some San Francisco, I think, played at Stanford or something like that. So it's not like they were playing miles and miles. But this is their actual home stadium, so it is a little bit different. So I'm like you. I think it's going to be, trading punches for a little bit. I hate to compare Tampa Bay to Cleveland because I think that Tampa Bay is better than Cleveland. But I think it's going to be a lot like that game where I think it's going to be a close game. There might be times where you think Tampa Bay is going to win, but ultimately, the Chiefs make one too many big plays, one too many clutch drives, like they have all year. They've proven to you they're going to keep punching until you fall down. So I got Chiefs by 10.
Yeah, Chiefs by 10. He went way bigger than me. I got Chiefs by 7, and I can't picture Tom Brady getting blown out. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's probably it's not going to be as high-scoring as Philly and the Patriots, but it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going to put it at like a 28-34 kind of game, 35 kind of game.
I don't have it that much different. I had 37-27 in my mind. So I think you're right on with Tampa Bay. I just think that there's going to be one or two more scores going Kansas City's way. So that takes us to the end of the season. This has been episode 9. We started mid-season, so next season we'll have a full season. But this off-season we'll be bringing you some top 10 lists, some things you can call us idiots for. Why isn't my guy ranked higher? Why isn't my team or my stadium ranked higher? We'll have all that. And we'll get into baseball, and we'll get a little bit more basketball heavy.
We'll definitely be here for March Madness.
But before that, we got to talk about one more thing, which is our last trip to Vegas for the year.
I know, it's kind of sad.
we've been to Vegas now 8 times before this. I've had 7 winning weeks. Well, no, 6 winning weeks. 1 week where I split, technically a loss because juice, and then 1 really bad week. I think I'm at 1-4 in my bad week, so that wasn't good at all.
I had my worst week last week.
But alas, this week I had Green Bay and Buffalo, so I'm 0-2. I had the over in the Green Bay game, so now I'm 1-2, and I had the under in the Kansas City game, taking me to 1-3. And I'm gonna take off this hat, even though I know it's Steven's favorite. It's his beloved White Sox. And I gotta put on the dunce cap. So all you have to do, Steven, is have a winning record. Did you do it?
I definitely picked the 2 winners of the games because I took Tampa Tom.
Yep.
And I took Patrick Mahomes. I also took an over in there that hit. So yeah, I went 3-1 this week.
You took the over in the Kansas City game and the under in the Green Bay game, so you went 3-1. So
I'll take it.
For the first time ever, you go back to back.
Hey, and my shock hit again because I actually said Tampa Bay on the money line.
Yeah,
so.
I think I got a little bit big for my britches. I think I knew in my heart that Kansas City was going to cover, but I wanted to be sneaky and take Buffalo. I was trying to be a little bit too smart. Here, take this a little bit more. We got to do our one last toast.
All right.
And that's the only problem we have here on Lowballers is sometimes we drink a little too fast. So, to a great season. We'll be back. We might not have a show next week, but we'll have a show after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, like I said, we'll be back. With some top 10 lists. I find those generate a lot of interaction because people get upset because their guy or their team isn't ranked high enough. But we'll see you then. Until then, cheers.